We don't want to be defined by our enemies, and of course pagan, like heathen, was a term originally applied by those who opposed native European forms of worship and belief. But pagan is useful these days to distinguish oneself from those who are caught up in other mysteries, or occupied by what they describe as no mystery at all. To say paganism, though, can get a bit tricky, since the ism makes it sound like a modern ideology that can be put on or taken off at will according to some defined dogma or reasoned discourse. The ism seems to say that first you're modern, and then you're whatever you choose to put in front of it. Additionally, it nounifies it, or more formally nominalizes it, in the process rendering it at least somewhat inert. It seems more accurate to stress the action in what we can designate as pagan, thus verbalizing the term, at least in our mind's eye. It therefore seems better to say something like, we're walking a pagan path. What are we reaching for, though, when we use the word pagan? Something that gets us beyond Abrahamic faiths, for sure, and probably also a strictly materialistic paradigm or worldview. In being pagan, we're reaching back to the old ways, honoring the old gods, following in our elders' footsteps, and so on. But how can this be done? Comes the voice of a skeptic. The old ways have been lost. You don't really know what they did, let alone how they experienced it. It's true, of course, that a certain continuity and legacy have been lost, but I would contend that a lot remains that can set us on the right course. Not back to the past, to some Europe of antiquity. We can never really get back there. But rather forward from where we are now, using what we know about pre-Christian beliefs and practices, along with what we've learned over centuries of Christian and post-Christian life in Europe, to reach a new synthesis, a new understanding of our place in the cosmos. To be pagan in this day and age, if it's not a throwback, an excuse to party, or an escapist fantasy, is really just an opening onto a new mystery, a new understanding of the divine. It isn't the same as what the ancients believed. How could it be? But it can harmonize with it. The proof that we're doing things the right way will not be found primarily in what we know from existing lore, although ancient sources offer important clues, but in what we arrive at and authenticate as a living community. Paganism's truth, after all, lies in lives lived, not in creeds confessed, although we can use certain credos as a means of readying ourselves for certain types of experience. It seems reasonable to believe that the ancients used all of what they understood about the cosmos to inform what is now conceived as ancient European paganism. If they were alive now, they'd surely be doing the same, enacting their pagan beliefs while also integrating knowledge more recently gained. We need to do something similar, drawing upon insights not just from the so-called pagan chapters of our history, but from Christian and post-Christian chapters as well. Only then can we reach a more authentic form of pagan practice. Only then can we open our arms to the pagans of old.